Let's work on the navigation links now. For that, let's go to Navlinks and import React from React, because here I want to have a list of navigation links, of links in my main header or also in the side drawer, depending on where we render that. So there I'll have my Navlinks component, which could receive some props. We'll see if we need that. And then export Navlinks as a default. I also, of course, want to import ./navlinks.css for some styling. Now, inside of Navlinks, I will definitely also return some JSX code that includes some links. So we'll import something from React Router DOM, but that something is not link, but it's navlink, a special link in the end, which also can analyze the URL and allows us to, for example, color the link differently if we are on the page the link leads to show the user that this is the currently active link, for example. And then here I return an unordered list where I'll add a class name of nav-links to it. And you should do the same to make sure that the styling I will provide to you works. And then we have a list item in there without a CSS class. And there a nav link, which leads to /nothing and says all users, for example. And I will now copy that to provide another link here to, let's say, my places, to later view all the places we created, so our places. Let's add another link where we say new place, so that we can also add a new place later, or also add place, therefore. And another link, authenticate, which will not be that important right now because we won't add full-fledged authentication at this point, but it's still good to already have the link. Now be aware that later, not all links will be rendered all the time. For example, my places will only be rendered if we are logged in. Otherwise, there is no way we can view our own places. Add place will only be rendered if we are logged in. Authenticate, on the other hand, will only be rendered if we are not logged in. So at the moment they are all rendered, this will not be the case later. That's really important to understand. Also, one other thing, to the first nav link, which leads to /nothing, add exact as a prop. This tells the nav link that it should only mark this link as active and apply the styling I will give you in Navlinks CSS later when we are exactly on /nothing and not on any route that starts with /, because that would be every route and then this would always be marked as the active link. Also, we need to adjust the other two props here, of course. For my places, I want to go to /u1/places. This is a dummy placeholder. Later, we will populate that with the real user ID of the authenticated user. But since we have no authenticated users at the moment, there's nothing we can do regarding that. Here on add place, I want to go to /places/new. That's the link we were missing before, which we had to manually enter. And here, let's say for authenticate, I want to go to /auth. Now that's up to you. We haven't added that route yet, but we will add it later. So now we have all these nav links. We can now use that in the main navigation component. So in there, we can simply import nav links from ./navlinks and then render this here instead of the 3 dots. Nav links like this. Also important, attached you now find a Navlinks CSS file, and you should replace yours or the content inside of it with my Navlink CSS content. If you do that and you save all files, you should see Navlinks here, and you see the active page highlighted like this. Of course, you can always, by the way, adjust styles in the CSS files if you want to have a different styling. This is just the styling I will go with. So all users is currently active. If I click on add place, you see this is now active. So this works, we can switch here. And of course, some routes are not yet supported. For example, my places and authenticate. We always are redirected there because I haven't registered routes for them yet. But add place in all users works. And now we can switch with help of these buttons. Now that's great. If we highlight this in mobile view here in the Chrome DevTools by clicking on this icon though, we have the hamburger icon, but clicking on it doesn't really do much. We open no side drawer. Instead, I have the Navlinks all clammed in here, which doesn't look super great. So we should fix that, and we should make sure that on mobile view, This also looks good.